Hello, hello. I have some exciting news before a fun story that I have for you. The exciting news is that yet again, Momentum Real Estate Group has been nominated for Best Realtor in Best of Valley by Phoenix Magazine. We won last year, which was so exciting. For those of you who weren't here through that process, they start with a nomination pool, and the top 10 candidates who get the most nominations then go up for voting. And so right now we are in the voting process. It's us against some other really fantastic real estate agents, and we need you guys to officially be victorious. So if you think we're the best realtor in the valley, we ask you to click the link below, vote for us. If you're a real big fan, you can actually vote every day and from every email address that you have. So any support, we just appreciate it all. So now a story. A couple months ago, I don't remember when it was, I had shared a story about OpenDoor. OpenDoor, like Zillow and OfferPad and different companies like that, they're what we call iBuyers or institutional buyers. iBuyers go in, purchase property, do very minimal renovations. Most of the time it maybe is just like paint or carpet, and turn around and put it immediately back on the market. It's a fantastic model when somebody is in a really big pinch because they get to usually choose their close of escrow date. Sometimes there's some flexibility with the different programs they have, but in a strong seller's market like today, a lot of the benefits that those companies provide, really the market does it for you. And then of course the short version of this story is at a higher price. So a story. My husband and I are selling our house right now, which is different for us because typically we've kept them as investment properties. But this one just kind of made sense to part ways with. And after reviewing the numbers, we decided to take the money out of this house and put it in a new investment property. And ironically, about 3 or 4 days before we went to hit the market with it, I got a letter from OpenDoor right here. Your estimated offer, can you see that? 263 to 321. That's a pretty big range. So let's call it 300, right? That's probably kind of in the middle-ish of this, a little bit high, but for what they have here, but in the middle-ish, we'll call it. Cool. Why sell to OpenDoor? Get a competitive offer instantly, skip stressful home showings and prep work, choose the close date that works for you. Cool, cool, cool. Well, we're under contract right now. Our house sold in 72 hours. We did have some showings and we did have to prep it. But here's what we got for that. 300-ish was the offer. We're under contract right now at $675. So in this particular example, that's, I don't know, $375,000 of a gap. That's real money. And the reason stuff like this works really well is because when you as a consumer get a letter at your door, if that number sounds pretty good, then why bother, right? Why bother with calling an agent? Why bother with, getting other numbers? Like, this number sounds good. Why bother is for a $300,000 gap. Now, of course, this is an extreme situation. The reason that their estimate is so far off of our value is because we live in a really unique area. We've got great mountain views and a 5-car garage and like some really weird things that make our property different than other people's. And so the gap was pretty apparent. But last time we talked about this, I shared a story, and they're closing today, so I'm going to bring it back up. We have a client who's closing today who got an offer from OpenDoor at $425. And when I had initially seen the house, because this is a strong seller's market, it makes it a little difficult to price because I prefer not to overpromise and underdeliver, and yet we also want to set realistic expectations about what the market will produce. So I felt really confident at a 430 number, but depending on the market, because it's crazy right now, it could go significantly up from there. After much weighing back and forth, they decided the upside of it going possibly significantly higher was worth the weekend of showings and prepping the house and whatnot. So remember that offer at $425. We ended up selling their house for $470. And the crazy thing is they got 470. They never actually put it on the market. It was coming soon. The only person who's seen this house is the one that they're under contract with. It was as is, so they don't have to do any repairs. They had an appraisal waiver, meaning no matter what it appraised at, that buyer was going to be paying that price, and they got to select their closing date. So we got them a competitive offer instantly. We were able to help them skip the stressful home showings and prep work, and then they got to choose the date that worked for them. So when you get a letter, communication, anything like that with an investor who wants to buy your house, a good rule of thumb to think of is what's in it for them, right? It's not a nonprofit. And so the short version I tell people is if you get a letter, even if the number on it is awesome, and you're like, this is super cool, like I don't even see houses going for this price, it means they're confident that they can turn it right around and put it on the market for that much more, right? Because they have to have a profit. So before you go giving away, in my case, $375,000 of equity, or in our client's case, what was that? 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, $45,000 worth of equity. Let's talk. That way I can give you an idea on what to expect, and that way you can weigh your options, because at the end of the day, like I mentioned, this makes sense for a very small grouping of people, and that might be you. And for some people it doesn't, and we want to make sure that you're not giving away tens of thousands of dollars of unnecessary money. I hope this was helpful, and if there's any questions, of course, feel free to reach out, but in the meantime, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.